Hey guys, this is the second part of a full video that got cut in half for being just too damn long. This video is going to jump straight into the content, so if you haven't seen part 1 already, I recommend you watch it now. Alright, thanks. So tell me, dear viewer, what does this story look like it's about? Oh, I don't know. Maybe MC is just so damn hot that all the girls can't help but fall for him. Then all the girls fight on who gets to date him, or it becomes a harem anime because he's just so
irresistible.
Something like that, maybe? If you said exactly that, then you must be psychic. How the fuck did you do that? You would be severely wrong because this story is a horror masterpiece. It is, dare I say, the most unnerving piece of DDLC media I have ever seen, second only to the original game itself. There's no joke here. This fan story is phenomenal. It was made by Candelia, the person I mentioned earlier. See, I told you I'd get back to them. This person has made tons of fan stories, but none of them are as fantastic as this. Oh, alright, I can't wait anymore. Let's watch it. The mod starts out fairly standard. MC, in this story renamed to Self-Insert City, has just finished class and is on his way to the literature club. Except this story immediately throws a curveball by having Candy hate the club. It looks like Sayori begged him to join, where he eventually agreed to attend a meeting. Except the club is boring as shit because all they do is read Shakespeare all day and Candy no longer wants any part of it. He literally tries to sneak out of school before Sayori catches him. I just want to say that this mod does an amazing job at immediately characterizing Candy here. We hear his internal monologue and learn just how much he hates the literature club. But when Sayori shows up, he immediately puts on a dream mask and starts acting super happy and excited for the club. I really like this because the story immediately sets itself apart from the others by having Candy be more than just a horny bastard. Upon entering the club, Yuri and Monika suddenly jump up and greet Candy super enthusiastically. Candy even takes note on how intense they are in doing so. We get our first glimpse of things being slightly off when Candy goes over to the closet to meet Natsuki. Natsuki is at first just sorting through manga, just not giving a single fuck about anything. But when she finally looks up at Candy, her entire personality completely flips and she ecstatically introduces herself. This is a great moment because anyone that knows anything about DDLC knows that Natsuki would never do this. She's a little bitch. One of my favorite parts of this mod is how it's able to build tension. I feel like a lot of the horror content I see in games, movies, or even YouTube videos always either blow their load immediately and waste any sense of a dramatic build-up, or hold off on the horror for so long to the point where I just don't care anymore. However, this story does it amazingly, but I'll get to that when we get to that. After Yuri makes a fool of herself and runs away like a damn coward, Monika swiftly ends the meeting. She brings Candy to the corner of the room and starts speaking to, not Candy, but the player. Okay, this is the one thing I don't like about this video. I'm fine with the original game being super meta, that is the point after all. But I feel like the characters all just being lines of code barely works in any other situation. I personally find it really hard to get invested in characters when they're not even real in-universe. Even worse when our main character is just some guy behind a screen. Like, great, now we know that all these characters are fake and that there's no genuine threat. But you know what? I'm just gonna ignore that, and I think you should too. Monika tells, not the player, but Candy that he shouldn't be there and that things will soon get out of hand. Oh no, Monika, I'm really scared right now. They rejoin the others and Natsuki starts chatting. Nothing really scary has happened yet, but something is obviously wrong here. Monika ends the club meeting and Sayori and Candy walk home together. Candy now has a valid excuse to not want to go back to the club because what the f***, and tells Sayori that he won't return to the literature club for as long as he lives. Sayori takes the news hard and almost begs him to come back the next day. I don't know if Candy actually loves her or is just really good friends with Sayori or what, but he does end up agreeing to come again for her. Candy goes inside and alright, time for an intermission. I feel like we've all gotten used to the DDLC world being super happy and bubbly in these fan stories. And it feels like this story knows that and slowly strips away any sense of normalcy. Like, we start exactly how every other story starts, but as things go on, all the girls slowly start to drift out of character. And then there's a few moments where the music drops and we get this sense of foreboding dread. Not quite dread yet, but it's coming. The first act of this video does a great job at establishing its world and hinting at something terrible happening. But again, nothing that's happened so far is anywhere near scary, just a little weird if anything. However, all of that ends the next morning. Candy gets up, eats breakfast, and starts heading to school. Literally exactly the same as every other morning in his life. Except there's one slight difference. Sayori, instead of waiting for Candy like usual, is already down the street walking to school. Last warning, if you want to experience this story for yourself, do so now. Candy starts jogging to catch up and starts talking to her. No response. Thinking she didn't hear him, he begins calling her name. No response. Even when he's only feet away, she still ignores him. He eventually catches up and puts his hand on her shoulder. Sayori stops. Okay. That was good. Okay guys, I don't know if maybe I need to watch more movies, but that might be the single best introduction of true terror I have ever seen. The way the music starts to loop as Candy reacts to Sayori's expression is so creepy. All we can do is sit there and wonder what the hell is happening before it's finally revealed what she looks like. The reason I think this is so effective is because of the contrast from the last time we saw Sayori, where she was super enthusiastic. And I just love how the music starts to distort as the scene goes on. It adds so much to the terror and confusion, and it makes it feel like the scene is just gonna explode. She runs off, and Candy comes to the conclusion that this has something to do with the club. When the time comes, Yuri's already inside and offers him some tea. He drinks it, but like, literally, why would he do that? Like, I get that he wanted to calm down with some soothing British cuisine. I live in a shithole! But like 2 seconds ago, he was just talking about how the club brainwashed Sayori or something. Maybe I gave the guy from Doki Doki Stalker too much shit, because clearly there's someone a little stupider around here. Candy mentions that the tea tastes weird, and I didn't realize the milk video had a sequel. Natsuki then offers him a cupcake, which I personally wouldn't eat either. Just then everyone else wanders in. Just in time too, shit was getting weird. Candy confronts Sayori about what happened that morning, but she acts like nothing happened. She says that they never even saw each other today. Good morning! Alzheimer's in children is a rising epidemic. What can you do? Monika buds in and starts the club meeting. She announces that it's time for everyone to share their poem. Being fucking psychotic is a rising epidemic. Sayori pulls MC away to share her poem. Being pretty damn aggressive too. Damn, Candy, I wouldn't take that. Put her in her place, will ya? Candy takes Sayori's poem and... Alright, she didn't even fucking try. Look, there's like periods in the wrong spots, there's random lines all over the paper, and what does this even say? I need you, I need you, I need you. Help me! Help me, I'm choking! Get this thing off of me! And then after witnessing that, he's just like, alright, guess it's time to read Natsuki's poem now. And then he just walks away. I'm going with Natsuki. See ya. Buddy, if this was real life, Sayori is killing herself after that. Natsuki's poem is about, like, grinding up human bones and cannibalizing people. I don't even think that's part of the horror. She's just kind of like that. Then Yuri fucking beats Natsuki to the ground. Yeah! This is amazing! This is wonderful! This is why this is the best story ever made! Yes! Alright, Yuri, I wasn't so sure about you earlier, but this is the second time this exact scenario has happened. Alright, you're back up to A tier. Candy has a very realistic response to this, though, actually trying to get Natsuki up and take her to the hospital. But Yuri keeps pestering him like that one Family Guy clip, and eventually Candy gets so annoyed that he just grabs the poem and... Did she piss on the fucking poem? Oh yeah, blood too, that's bad. I know I made that joke earlier, but this might actually be the best iteration of MC, because he actually has personality and acts as if he were a real person. After reading Yuri's poem, he decides that, yup, time to go, and he picks up the still unconscious Natsuki. Which, jokes aside, is just a really nice character detail that he would care enough about a borderline stranger to still get them help while fleeing a cult meeting. It makes Candy feel a lot more like a real person and less like an object for all the other girls to swoon over like so many other fan stories. It's likely in vain though, because Natsuki has like a total of 2 pints of blood in her body and is already bled out and died. I complained about the world being just a game earlier, but I love how frequently the girls will glitch in and out of different states, with them just staring at him while this whole scene with Yuri unfolds. I completely get why the world is a game here, and the story is clearly written with that idea in mind. But I really wish there was just some other workaround, like, I don't know, Satan got bored one day. Those girls are f***ed up is a sentence that fits most fan stories, I feel. Anyway, Candy gets too scared and drops Natsuki. Fucker's definitely dead now. There's no way she'd survive a, what, 2-foot drop? Candy runs back home and just relaxes, I guess. You're not gonna contact the police or anything? I mean, to be fair, he did just drink piss, so I guess I'll give him a little leeway. Natsuki shows up to his house, but instead of being worried about the stage 4 brain trauma she got, she's just sad that Candy never ate her cupcake. Candy, you left without trying my cupcake. I made it with all my love. Yeah, I bet you made it with something else too, you sick f***. Candy tries to refuse, but decides fuck it and eats the cupcake. Alright, did I call that shit or what? She wakes up in Natsuki's room, and don't even get me started on how she possibly got him there. Do you know how hard it is to drag 150 pounds of dead weight? I sure do. He calls Natsuki a psychopath and asks what she did to him, but she looks genuinely confused, setting up for an epic sequel as the screen fades to black. Alright guys, for real though, what a great story. I really hope you watched it before I talked about it, because I can't give justice to how truly creepy the story is. And if you didn't, well, I guess you just ruined the experience for yourself forever. Now it'll never be as great as it could be. Great going, man. When I first watched this, I loved it, and I was incredibly excited when I heard it got a sequel. And another, and another, and another. Wait, what was the thumbnail again? But we've spent quite enough time on this story, and I want to move on to some other stuff. Maybe some other day I'll come back to this series and talk about the episode where Candy gets ripped in graphic detail. What the f***? What the fuck? Do you guys like music? Yeah, me neither. Alright, firstly, I have no idea why this is Minecraft. There was always this thing back in the day that whenever someone made an animation to go along with the song, there was always someone ready to convert it to Minecraft. This was really big with FNAF songs back in the day. I remember that whenever I wanted to listen to Die in a Fire, I had to turn on the Minecraft version because the realistic animatronics getting destroyed made me really sad. But the weird thing is that there's no original animation for this song. This is the first iteration of it, so I ask again, why is it Minecraft? The song itself is alright, I guess. I don't want to sound mean, but Stupendium isn't really the best singer. The song is basically just recapping all of the game, which is fine, I guess, but I don't know, that's kind of boring. I will say that there's one part I like, though. In the opening of the song, he talks about each of the girls, but then Sayori gets killed. And then that part of the song starts over again, but when Sayori is supposed to show up, the lyrics just become a garbled mess. That's like some Shaun of the Dead parallelism that's neat. Stupendious or whatever the hell your name is can get the hell out of here because now it's time for the real man's music. Beloved internet terrorist Random Encounters made a DDLC song 7 years ago and it's yet to be topped in quality. Not that there's that many people making DDLC song, it's just those two and Vannamelon.
Hello, Deadpool. I'm the president of the Literature Club.
Hey, so Random Encounters likes to do this thing called copywriting their music, so if there's randomly a muted bit in this segment, that means I'm making money. In this video, MC is played by Baldy Guy, and it's just really funny to me that all of these girls are falling to pieces over this 30-year-old with a wig. But like I said, this song kind of
slapstick.
Yeah, God forbid someone tries to get laid around here, Natsuki. You know what, go back to reading your incest manga or whatever the f- All of the singers do a great job, but Yuri is... Holy shit. What I wouldn't give to be in that situation. I mean, Yuri's right, he is beautiful.
Welcome to Baldy.
You know, I heard that Random Encounters is so devoted to their craft that they actually just killed one of their singers here. What is this expression? He's like, oh man, you got me. Being a sexual predator. Somebody made a cover of Your Reality, but it's a cappella, a la Pitch Perfect. God, I hate those movies. I gotta say, dude, this one's super good. Everyone did a really good job making it. Holy shit, is that a new character? Nope, Afro Zero again. Then there's this one by OR30. What kind of name is that? DDLC fans getting ready to make the same unfunny overused hanging joke for the 10 billionth time? Like seriously guys, make other jokes. Do you realize how much comedic potential this series has?
You just gonna lay there and take it?
Yes.
The song is good, but there's nothing to make fun of, so we're moving on. Is there still time to go back? Okay, I just want to say that the entire section talking about this video will be entirely off of memory because there is no way in hell I'm rewatching 14 hours of this shit. You heard me correctly. This story is a 14-hour long epic that includes so much stuff that it would take another 14 hours just to review it all. And I watched all of it. Kind of. Now, I didn't actually watch this video for the full 14 hours. I had it on 2x speed the whole time, and I also skipped all of the sex scenes, which there were a surprising amount of. There's also like a combined hour of the two just talking about how much they love each other, which, yeah, I skipped those too. Because of all of that, I only really watched this for roughly 5 hours, which as a casual Forge Labs and Ellis Mark enjoyer, this is pretty par for the course. But I know what you're thinking right now. What could a video like this even be about? Well... A Month with Natsuki is a slice-of-life story about MC and Natsuki who are dating and run into many wacky obstacles throughout the course of the month. An unaccepting parent, a jealous best friend, an accidental pregnancy that becomes a topic of heated arguments and could quite possibly even kill Natsuki if she gives birth to the baby. All the stress of which causes MC to have horrific nightmares where the unborn child talks to him and begs for him to not let Natsuki kill it. However, her condition only gets worse and worse as time goes on, and she begins to get weaker and more sick as the days progress. Eventually, she can't take the pain anymore and performs an at-home abortion on the fetus and then pins it all on her father. Following this, after finding out the truth of what happened, the dead fetus of the unborn child's soul begins to torment MC and tries to kill him. However, he is able to escape its grasp for now, but not before it's able to override Yuri's consciousness and use her body to horrifically mutilate Natsuki. Fortunately, Monika has been watching all of this, and after showing MC what's behind the code of the game, sends him back in time before Natsuki is killed. MC is able to take down Yuri and save Natsuki, and then they all live happily ever after except Yuri, who is dead. Wait, hold on a damn minute. He picked Natsuki out of all of them? So that was the general plot around the story, and yeah, it gets a little out of hand. I think this story is genuinely great though. MC and Natsuki's struggles in life are very well written, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't invested. But when we get into all the satanic and time travel stuff, it really started to lose me. At that point, I was pretty eager for the thing to wrap up, but there were still like 2 hours left. I'd actually prefer to talk about this video for as little as possible, because I already know that sifting through the 14 hours of footage for a specific clip is gonna be hell. It is. Yeah, sorry about that, man. You know what? F you. Okay, well, it's not my fault. It's the asshole who wrote the thing. I don't care. You could have just not recorded the lines. Hey, I'm just being a good soldier doing what I'm told, alright? You think I want to do this thing? I want to sit here and record this volume of stuff? No, but I do it. I do it because I have to. And I don't understand why you have to complain so much when this is the job. This is what we have to do. And I don't love it because I know the work you're going to have to do. I know. I understand. But I have to do it because I'm just going to talk about what the characters are like in this story and fill in any plot gaps I left in my earlier recap if needed. So basically, at the start of the story, MC and Natsuki are already dating, but for whatever reason, they keep their relationship a secret from everyone. Unfortunately, Sayori is also in love with MC. Early into the video, Sayori wants to show MC a special poem that she made for him, but he brushes her off because he needs to go read manga or something. I don't know, I'm not rewatching the thing. When she finally gets around to saying something in front of MC, right in front of Natsuki, mind you, Sayori says that she's known MC her whole life and thus deserves him more. But then Natsuki makes the really good point of, then why did you wait until he was already taken to confess? Now, me personally, I thought this would be a fantastic time to bring back that special poem from earlier. I thought she would have confessed her love in the poem. When she tried to give it to him, Natsuki and MC's relationship was still in private, so it would have made her a lot more sympathetic in this story. But in reality, the writer just forgot about the poem and it never gets brought up again after the fact. That poem, by the way, is the only time in this 14-hour video that anyone does any literature. Yeah, seriously, you'd expect with a story about characters from a game that has literature in the title that maybe they do some literature. But no, this is the only time in the entire story. There was this one moment in the latter half of the video where they got so fucking close to doing literature. For the first time in weeks, everybody was in the club room, club time had just started, and then Monika was right about to give the assignment for the day. I was so fucking happy. I jumped out of my chair, started doing backflips and shit. This was the moment I was waiting for. I'm not doing a backflip. But then Natsuki starts crying like she got shot with a rifle, and then MC rushes her to the hospital. Words can't describe how pissed I was. They were so close to doing actual literature. I had to take a break from the internet for like 5 days because of how much it affected me. Sayori's life in this is just terrible, and it starts right away when MC falls in love with Natsuki. Imagine inviting your crush to the club you're in to spend more time with him, only only for him to immediately fall in love with someone else in the club. The only way that could have backfired more is if he got shot dead upon walking into the room. Some of her scenes can be genuinely hard to watch, like the one where she tries to give MC a hand job in front of Natsuki. Oh, okay, moving on. Yuri is so incredibly dumb in this video. Every time she shows up, she always says the worst thing possible and makes the situation 10 times worse. At a certain point, every time she showed up on screen, I just start yelling at her. Yuri, shut the fuck up! She does almost nothing of note for so long, but when we get to this extremely personal conversation about abortion, she follows MC to the hospital just to fucking lecture them. Like, dude, these guys barely know you. What is wrong with you? It's like if one of your relatives died and then you got left with a big sum of money and then some random guy walks up and just, okay, so you take that dead family money and ready for this? Pool. There's also Monika, who's so unimportant to the story that it's almost baffling how big of an effect she has on it in the end. Where, yes, the whole story was in a game and Monika's the only one that's actually sentient. Alright, finally time for this big rant. I hate AI characters in media because it means they're not real. Well, no shit, they're not real. It's fiction. What I mean is that in universe, it's not a real person. There is no soul behind Ryan Reynolds' eyes. No matter how much it may seem like it's real, all it is just AI generating a script for a character model to follow. And that's all that will ever be. So when this story suddenly decides that everyone's in a game, it completely makes everything that happened prior to it have no value because it's the equivalent to one of those videos teaching AI to jump or some shit. Even Monika herself says that there's no point in helping MC because he's not even a real person. Like, I get that the original game is about being a game, but you're already changing the story enough. Why stop there? Making it a video game makes it impossible to be invested with the characters. They aren't real, they don't feel real feelings. They're just zeros and ones generating a script to fit the situation. In this aspect, the original game is completely fine because from the very beginning, it is built off of this idea. Whereas in this story, it feels like it's completely normal for so long before it's just like, oh, yep, it's a game now. I just wanted to clear that up because I knew someone would say something. This story was made by The Bike, and if you thought that this video was weird, you don't even know the half of it. Monika gets teased, Sayori gets soaked, Yuri gets exposed, Natsuki gets teased, a bath with Natsuki's extra special cupcakes, Monika makes the literature club fail No Nut November.
That is disgusting.
And this is just the first page of most viewed videos. Who knows what else is down there? I don't think The Bike had a full plan of what he wanted this story to be, and he was more making it up as he went along. I say this because there's an entire major plot line that is just completely forgotten about halfway through. That and the complete tonal whiplash between slice of life drama and prequel to Doom Eternal. This story could probably get its own video, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not fucking insane. Not insane yet. This next one might change that. Alright, who is ready for another installment of God, I wish that were me. In this story, Yuri asks MC to meet her at the school in the middle of the night. I don't know how they would possibly get in at 3 a.m., but sure. She asks MC what he thinks of her, and MC makes a grave mistake. He calls her a friend. So he says no, and then her next course of action is to immediately drug him. Like, she knew this would happen too. She had the syringe on standby while she waited for 6 hours. Just go to sleep, and it will all be over soon. Yeah, look at that. We've got our own Jeff the Killer here.
You're a pedophile.
MC wakes up, and Yuri starts talking all evil and scary. I kidnapped you. Okay, thanks for the explanation, Yuri. I wasn't exactly able to sniff that one out. I'm gonna be completely honest right now. This is a pretty boring story. Nothing really happens after this point, and it's just MC sitting tied to a chair while he tries to come up with a plan to escape. This doesn't mean you are free to leave. If you try to run away, I will catch you. Do you understand? Yes, Yuri. Good boy. S tier. I don't know how much longer I can keep my hands off you. Hey! I said I didn't want to talk about that one yet! MC is eventually able to draw Yuri's attention away by throwing her scrapbook in the conveniently located bedroom fireplace. He's then able to grab his pocket knife, cut the rope, and escape. Yuri tries to restrain him, but he tackles her to the ground and actually just beats the shit out of her. Dude, what the fuck? He stabs her in the heart, which, okay, that seems a little much. Like, I get that she kidnapped you and shit, but she's also clearly mentally messed up. I don't know, man. I just feel like this wasn't the best course of action. Is this the best thing I've ever done? Or the worst thing I've ever done? What kind of question is that? How could this possibly be the best moment of your life? Yeah, actually, I get it. You would think that with the standards we've been given, that there'd be an infinite amount of interesting things to do with these characters. I did too, until I stumbled across the video, Monika loses her bow. I must say, say, you look atrocious without your bow.
Kill yourself!
So Monika wakes up one day and can't find her iconic bow, so she's forced to go to school without it. Now, any DDLC fan would know that Monika is nothing without her bow. She loses all of her authority. Monika is very scared that everyone is gonna hate her and want to kill her because of how ugly she is now. But to her surprise, everyone seems to not give a shit. I thought this one would be funny, but it's actually so fucking boring. The characters just stand around and talk about how pretty Monika is. And like, yeah, no shit, now do something interesting. Ah, here we go. DDLC the love drug. You can't get enough of these things. Me when I see black tar heroin cupcake. I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like this mod is really iconic, or at least the name. Which is why it's so funny to me that this is a significantly shorter story than Monika loses her bow. You know the drill, it's a normal day in the literature club until something crazy happens. I swear, you are so silly. Okay, that wasn't it, but that's just a funny line. So each of the girls come up to MC one by one and are just generally very kind towards him. When it's Yuri's turn, MC asks if she knows why Sayori and Natsuki have been acting odd today. Why single me out? Yeah, that's actually fair. Sayori legitimately acted completely normal in your interaction with her, so I don't know why. Oh, and yeah, this is a... God, I wish that were me. Anyway, what the fuck? Then all the girls start fighting over MC. I just wanted an easy day, but instead, I have to deal with this? Dude. Are you serious right now? Look what you have right now. Look what you have! He randomly picks Natsuki out and calls her a small pencil. Okay, I know I say a lot of bad things about this character, but MC, that was actually uncalled for. MC escapes the room and runs into Monika in the hall. He tells her about what happened and she apparently knows exactly what he's talking about. I mean, you could just make love with them. But what if I'm not interested? Isn't that the reason you joined the literature club in the first place? Aw, shit, Monika, you fucking got him there. I know MC is embarrassed as hell right now. So Monika convinces MC to just have the four-way, and all the while there's this sad-ass music playing in the background like it's the emotional climax of a movie. Dude, this is an 8-minute video. Alright, you three, line up. What the fuck? Alright man, I don't need to hear the details. The curse or whatever the girls had is now gone and they try to explain how they felt. My horniness was eternal. What a fucking quote. Could you imagine writing this dialogue and then just reflecting on your life? Like, what happened? So apparently, Yuri tells us that this all happened because she took some random drug a student was handing out earlier in the day. Back to B tier. What is this? The class of 09? You can't just be taking prescription medications from random people, Yuri. Are you stupid? Oh, and Sayori and Natsuki had them too, but I expected better from Yuri. Monika comes in and reveals that it was her giving out the drugs.
It was me!
Then they all run after Monika and presumably beat her to death. What a wholesome ending. This is kind of a stupid story. It's really bad, but not anything that would make me want to kill myself. I don't want to watch this. Okay, I did anyway, and I do in fact want to kill myself. I must be psychic! Dude, the title itself even says the mod is weird. Like, if this is what's classified as normal, then I'm terrified. The mod starts in the perspective of Sayori. Wow, that's quite a shakeup. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and Sayori decides to go over to MC's house to annoy him. She calls his name once, and when he doesn't answer, she immediately assumes that he's overdosed and dead. Bro, why? So she breaks in and starts looking around the house for MC. She goes to his bedroom door and breaks it down. She sees MC doing something weird, but it takes the video forever to actually reveal what Sayori saw. It was hair-raisingly tense, I couldn't take it anymore. It's later revealed that MC was doing the deed with Monika. You know, the act, the devil's tango, if you will. I don't think this was made by a native English speaker because some of the dialogue has pretty bad grammar or just doesn't make sense at all. I think Is This Door is one of my personal favorites. I was actually having a pretty fun time with this one until I read the line, because I never banged with someone before, and it was so cringy my atoms started to separate. I had to stop watching. Alright, I think that's gonna be our last fan story. This video would have been a lot longer, but when I started seeing shit like this in my recommended, I knew it was time to stop. But before I wrap this up, there's one more question that every DDLC enjoyer must answer. Who is the best girl? I don't know, they all piss me off in their own special way. Definitely not Natsuki though, like what the fuck? Let's do a quick rundown. Sayori, pros, seems like a fun person. Cons, I could see her being a little annoying at times. Monika, pros, the least mentally ill. Cons, the least mentally ill. Yuri, pros, hot. Cons, a fucking bitch. Natsuki, pros. Cons, a fucking bitch. If we rank them all by looks, then by personality, and then average out the scores, we've got a bit of a predicament here. Okay, so it's really close, and I might change my mind next week. But I'm gonna go with Sayori. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like these fan stories. I mean, the whole point of DDLC is that it's not a fun world. These girls could never be friends and live normal lives. As the game put it itself, the literature club is truly a place where no happiness can be found. So having these stories where the girls are hanging out and being best friends forever kind of contradicts the original purpose of the game. And who cares? It's not like it's the creator of the game swooping back in after a couple of years and changing everything drastically. This is all fake. You can just enjoy the original game and ignore all the fan stuff like I did for many years. Trust me, this isn't even that bad. In all seriousness, I love Doki Doki Literature Club so much. The story is amazing. The characters are so well written. Everything about this game, from the horror to the actual dating sim, is perfect. But it's all over now. There's nowhere the story can go after this. DDLC Plus will be the last time we see any official content with the characters in this world. DDLC is one of those things where I can reminisce about it and have fun. But then, out of nowhere, I get this feeling of genuine sadness, knowing that there will never be anything else. I'm sure that we've all gotten this feeling about a piece of media that we really like. The same thing happened to me with Regular Show, Over the Garden Wall, popular MMOs, and tons of other things that would take too long to list. And that's why I like these fan stories so much. It's something else from this world. It's another chance to see these characters interact and mess around for a while. And even though none of it is real, and in the original story everyone's just ones and zeros anyway, it's still fun to pretend that these are real characters that have real lives and relationships. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way about this game. And even though a lot of these fan stories are bad or stupid or borderline not even DDLC, it all comes from a community that loves these characters and wants to see more. Sharing what they think would be a day in the life of these characters, or maybe just seeing how they would react to something happening. Communities like this can keep a game alive even though there's been no new content for years. When I look at these stories, all I can think about is how much love this game's fans have for it. Enough love to serve in the creation of countless stories from thousands of different people. Doki Doki Literature Club is a phenomenal game, but from its creation came something even better. A devoted, adoring, loving community. Now come on, let's go get your veggie burger. Ugh, I'm so hungry. That could work. This is good as hell. Where'd this even come from?
Hey Worst Trends, I heard you were making a video about the Literature Club and thought I'd send you one of my famous cupcakes. I made this one extra special. Love, Natsuki.
Well shit,